probably 4 years ago, we went to the lakes, and that was that mountain that I said I could run up in 15 minutes. And like
that was just mental. Yeah. Does anybody even know about this, by the way?
Just no one will know about it. But I remember coming back down afterwards and coming into the hut, and I said to you, I will be a British champion one day.
Welcome to the show, Nathan Hitman Heaney. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, mate.
I'm going to go through this with a bit of a different angle than maybe other people would speak to you normally, only because I know you so well. And I want people to understand exactly what you're about. First of all, I want to go with something that people always say when I say about Nathan Heaney. They say, well, you know, he's getting on a bit now. He's 33, 34. Now, I know you as being younger. When you were basically 25, you looked about 6. So I think that it's a bit like the Messi situation. So explain to people why, first of all, you went pro later on in your career.
Well, yeah, so yeah, like going back to obviously like the age kind of thing. Yeah, I was always a late developer. Like when I was growing, I always looked, even when I was at college and stuff, I looked very young. Even like I say, even when I was probably like 24, I looked all 16. Do you know what I mean? And like, it's not making me look too bad now. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them. Like, but no, the reason I turned pro so late, well, I was never going to turn pro, to be honest. The reason was, well, the idea was in the amateurs you have the ABAs each year. And the idea is win the ABAs, and then hopefully you get signed by Frank Warren, and then you'll be a TV fighter, and then you won't really have to worry too much about things, because I've seen fighters throughout Stoke throughout the time that they've been fantastic fighters, but because they haven't been able to, many people haven't watched them fight and stuff. They don't go anywhere. So I just thought to myself, I don't think many people are going to watch me fight. So unless I'm signed by Frank Warren, I won't ever turn professional, because nothing's gonna happen anyway. But I think it was only when my first daughter was born, Ava, which was like nearly 7 years ago now. I remember just thinking, I was about 27 or just turned 27. I thought maybe I should just try this pro game out just in case. Like, so I've got no regrets. And yes, and that's basically what I did. So I signed with BCB Promotions. I went with an outside promoter, and than what most people do within the area. And it was probably the best thing I ever did. He managed me really well, put some great shows on. It was me and Luke Catchy from Stoke that were working together as teammates and putting shows on and stuff. And then yeah, it just grew and grew. And now fast forward, bloody I think it's 5.5 years or whatever as I've been a pro now. I wouldn't believe where I am. Like I say, I dreamed about fighting for Frank when I was younger, but I never dreamed about headlining shows or being world ranked and stuff like that. Just never did. So it's happened. It's really, really good, because yeah, I was a good amateur, but I underachieved a lot as an amateur as well. So I never got to show me real potential when I was younger.
I want to talk to you about your mental strength now. So of course I've known you personally a very, very long time, and you said something to me personally not too long ago. You were watching people on TV, you were taking in different things, and you were talking about being the strongest man at your father's funeral, or your part. Now, I didn't realize it at the time, but I've since watched that video, and well, coincidentally, unfortunately, that did happen to you, and I've got to say firsthand, you were the strongest person at your dad's funeral. That's some bloody mental strength, mate. That is some bloody. And not only that, straight after the horrible passing of who was one of the greatest men ever to walk in my life, your father, you then got told you're then going to fight for the title only a few weeks later.
The day after. Oh yeah, well, I got told about the fight the day after, obviously, because Errol didn't know my dad died, and then I fought 8 weeks and 1 day after that happened in my first title fight. Yeah,
mental, absolute madness. How does this mindset of clear, just as a person, I know what you're like as a man, but like, how does this kind of transition into the world of boxing? Because if you can do that after such terrible things happen to you, and you've got this support, and you're doing all this on your own, you're going to be a very, very hard man to beat. Talk to me about
that. I don't know, mate. It's I am quite tough, like mentally. I think I'm quite emotional as well. I can get emotional at times, not in a bad way. But like if I watch ET, I might get upset. Like, or if we're speaking about my dad at times, I might get upset. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's like with fighters and stuff, or any athletes or anyone that wants to pursue anything in life that they want to be good at. You've got to have some kind of mental strength there, because you won't get anywhere without that, really. Well, you possibly will do, but it certainly helps. Certainly helps along the way. And yeah, like that quote about the being the strongest man at your father's funeral was from a bloke called Jordan Peterson, who's like
he's meant.
And I didn't hear that until like probably a year and a half after my dad had died. I was like, oh bloody hell, I think I was. And like you say kindly, like I was strongest man at my dad's funeral. But it was good because when I was listening to the video, there was like things he was saying that I was like, yeah, I think I do that. Like I treat people with respect and I try to be the best person I possibly can. Obviously, I'm not perfect in the slightest, but I do try my best. But yeah, it's but like going back to like the mental strength and stuff and belief and all this kind of stuff. Like many years ago, I can't remember, probably 5-6 years ago. No, probably 4 years ago, we went to the lakes and that was that mountain that I said I could run up in 15 minutes. And like
that was just mental. Yeah. Does anybody even know about this, by the way?
Just no one will know about it. But anyway, we got the lakes and it's near this place called, is it, mine? I don't know what it's called. What?
Go on, what are you saying?
Minehead or something, or cat bells or something. I don't know.
What are you on about Maiden Moor? Or so it's the Horseshoe Mountains, isn't it?
So Maiden Moor. So it's a big like thing, and like the lads are like, "Oh, it'll take age." You got that? I was like, "I can do that in 15 minutes." And like, no way. I was like, "I can do that in 15 minutes. I promise you, I can do it." Anyway, I put my headphones in, and then I thought I'm going to try it. So they timed me, and I went up, and I think I did it in 15 minutes and 46 seconds. So I wasn't under 15 minutes, which was a shame really because. But I did have a pair of Converse on, so it wasn't like I was wearing proper climbing shoes and stuff. But I remember coming back down afterwards and coming into the hut, and I said to you, "I will be a British champion one day." Now, I don't tell anyone what I think I can achieve and stuff. And there's no saying I will be a British champion, but I do believe I've got the physical attributes and like you said, the mental strength and stuff to at least give me a chance of becoming a British champion. So yeah, just it's one of them. You are believing in yourself, but you've also got to know that you can actually do it. It's like I said because you got Dev Sarni on in the second, and in me after I weighed in and I did like an interview with Dev and Nick Ball. I said they said about Jack Flatley about what he's going to be doing and this and that, and I said, well, it's okay because what the mind thinks he can do, what the body can do, are two completely different things. But you need to know what you can do.
So for me, again, and just to point on, you are a late bloomer. So do you feel, and I've always said this, but do you feel that will potentially extend your career?
Well, potentially, yeah. Just, well, make no mistake, my last performance, which is the oldest performance I've had in terms of my age, was the best performance I think I've ever done, really, in terms of like the way I started the fights. I started fast and explosive. I maintained the pace, and I even changed the game plan up and was in the last 10 seconds of the fight, I threw a combination, I threw like a 10-punch combination that was like, and I don't normally say good things about myself, but it was like, I pretended I was Joe Calzaghe for 10 seconds, and it was I felt the best I felt, to be honest. So yeah, it's one of them. I've always looked after myself, and I've always built up over the years. I built up a big aerobic engine in terms of the way that I train and stuff, and I think that's reflected in the way I perform. I'm more economical in what I do as well. I don't waste a lot of stuff, but then I've got the strength to like manage the fights and a bit more ring generalship. But to be fair, a lot of the credit, or all the credit, goes to Steve Woodvine anyway, because I've been with him now for 5.5 years, and he's developed me the whole way through. And finally, in that last fight, I actually did a little bit of what he wanted me to do for all these years, because he knows I can do it. It's just getting me to do it, like so. But I've shown it in glimpses here and there. Even in sparring, you see me spar some lads, and he's thought bloody brilliant. But it's just keeping it consistently. But yeah, on that night, I think I showed a little different side to me, at least.
You know, for me, I think that your stock raised so much because there was all these questions about, you know, yeah, he's good, but you know, is he good enough to beat a top level person? And I think that not only have you managed to hit that, you've also managed to exceed that, if that makes sense. You're thinking this, he didn't. For me, you won that comfortably and fought and put yourself at risk at times during that fight. You know, more likely like the last round, because you could. So let's talk about this fan situation again. Yeah. So there's no way in your wildest bleeding dreams that you could ever have imagined that you've got like 1,500 people like that who want to see you. And not only did they want to see you, I feel like they're emotionally invested in you as well, which means that they're going to follow you, win, lose or draw. They're going to be there screaming for you. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Do you reckon it's down to personable, being approachable, the ticket situation. Tell us about what you do there.
Yeah, mate. I think what it is, I'm very lucky that my guys create one of the best atmospheres in boxing. Like, the unity between them all is phenomenal. And just like I said before, like 100 Stokies sound like 600 of anyone else's. So it becomes a bit. I think people get a little bit. They just come together, and like it just feels like a part of an event every single time. So every 3 to 4 months when I'm fighting, I was like, oh, Heaney's fighting again. And then they all come back together again. And it's just amazing. The fights have been quite good as well. So that's been helping. But obviously we have Delilah and we walk out to Delilah, and that's entertaining and gets everyone going. And then the fights are good. And then we have a bit of banter after and stuff. And obviously, yeah, like I dropped my tickets off and stuff. That's nothing special. Like that, people really like that. And I love doing it. But I don't know why that shouldn't really be special. I think I don't know why other people don't just do it, because I love doing it. I just, yeah, like I say, when I'm looking through the camera and I watch me fights back, I can see all the people in the crowd, and like I've engaged with every single person. Obviously, some people have bought tickets for other people that I might not have spoken to, but the vast majority of them, I'll know every single one of them in there. And yeah, it's special. And just like I say, I don't know, they make the atmosphere incredible, and it just makes so everyone goes again.
This is a good one here. Kieran Downs said, who would be the dream fight at the Bet365 Stadium, People's Champ Nathan?
Thank you very much, Kieran. Whoever would help to fill it, whatever dance partner would help to fill that. So whatever big name that would be, I aren't really bothered. But I think we do 15 to 20,000 without anyone that's a massive name. But if you have a massive name that can make it so it's 30, 35,000 in there, like, which I'm sure there's names out there that could certainly help that would be the ideal for me. But yeah, no particular names. Mate, I've gone throughout my whole career not mentioning one person's name, and I don't think I ever will mention anybody's name. So yeah, whoever I fight, but whoever can certainly help to bring in the extra 20 to 15,000 people, that's who I'd want.
We've spoken about this at length, haven't we? Personally, and I think he'd done like it's not just a boxing thing; it's an event. It's an absolute event. Yeah. And the people who might not be able to make the Manchester's, Telfords, or wherever he might be, and they go to the match every day, or they might just be people who don't really even go Stoke, or they might be Vale fans, or they might just because you got Stoke, you still love the fans from your city, no matter who they're with. Do you know what I mean? And it's really nice that I've noticed now is to see that there's a lot of people from outside the area who want to be involved in this whole Delilah situation. They want to be part of this mad crowd, because it reminds me of, again, I know I can be biased because I love you more than the world, but it's like people now starting to take notice, not only talent wise, but also kind of as this unit wise. And I think it's going past just Stoke City now. I think people are really starting to want to be involved in the motion. But if you look at Nathan's body at the start of his career, I sent you a picture the other day, didn't I? Of your body at the start of your career compared to what you like now. And I feel like you're just two completely different people.
Yeah, because the difference was, though, I didn't have 24-hour weigh-ins. So when I was on the small hall scene before, I'd always have to be within 2 pounds of that weight, because you can you can stop drinking water 24 hours before a fight. That's absolutely fine. So you'll probably drop an extra 4 pounds just by doing that. So as you can't do that with same day weigh-ins, like particularly if you're weighing in, let's say, 4 p.m. on a Friday, and then you fight that same night, you can't do that. Whereas you can allow yourself to grow a little bit more when you've got the 24-hour weigh-ins, essentially. So that's why the difference is there.
Brilliant. And of course, you fought Jack Flatley in a fantastic fight the other day. I want to talk prior to, pretty well documented, so I'm not going to go into that too much. But tell us about the quality of your sparring ahead of Jack Flatley, because I think that was key to a lot of the successes in that fight. Yeah,
Steve's got lads in that were ideal candidates for what Jack Flatley was potentially going to be bringing in terms of a relentless pace, front foot fighting, and making it sure I wasn't really breathing much. So that's why we had Sergio Garcia. I did nearly 20 rounds with him. I had Aaron McKenna. I did nearly 20 rounds with him. So like 40 rounds between those two lads. And Aaron McKenna is a very big middleweight. To be fair, I think he is a super middleweight. And Garcia is I think he is now competing at middleweight. And he's very relentless and strong. So it was ideal. It was ideal sparring, and they did set me up for exactly. Well, they were like very high level fighters, so I thought to myself, if they're doing what they can do, but I can do well with them, which I was doing, then hopefully I should be okay with Jack Flatley. Which I think that experience with those guys helped me on the night.
Love it. So everybody's asking the same question, Nath. We keep hearing about the Bet365. We keep hearing about it. We keep talking about it. I know it keeps coming up in conversation and in interviews. I've heard Frank say it. So what's next for you, mate?
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure what's next. Like the biggest issue with this year is Stoke have got a lot of work that's been done in the ground in the summer, which is of all timings, it's the worst timing of all, really, because it would have been just done in the summer. They would have sorted it, but it's just working through with the contractors they've got and to see what dates are available. It can still be done this year. It's just with Frank and George and stuff, we've got to obviously speak with Stoke and just see what dates can possibly be done. So I honestly, I can't say what's next because I really don't know.
What kind of work's been done at the stadium?
Having like floodlights being done. I think the seating stuff, they're having a fan zone being built. I think loads of stuff's being done. So because obviously they got the new chief officer, like that COO, which is Simon King. He's new to the role. He took over from Tony Scholes, I think. And so I think he's putting a lot of stuff in place to obviously improve the club.
Love it, love it. And just finally, really, what message have you got for your incredible fans and people who are still yet to be a fan?
Yeah, just like always, mate. Just want to say thank you to every single person that's obviously there. Everyone that's watching now on Facebook and stuff, and yeah, I really do appreciate it. Like the most phenomenal supporters you can ever get, and the most loyal as well. You wouldn't, if I did a loyalty card for some of them, they've been to all 17 fights. And Vinny, I don't think he's watched this. He might be, I don't know, but Vinny's been to all 17 fights, and there's many others that have been to all 17 fights as well. So I just want to thank every single one of them, and yeah, and thank you and I'll look forward to seeing you in the future, hopefully.
What a man! What a man! We of course wish you all the best in your career. We'll one of the Heaney Hordes and myself will be following you too. Don't care where you go, Saudi. I couldn't care if you go Iraq. Couldn't care. I'm going, mate. Thank you for being such an amazing person, and thanks for coming on the show, mate. Love you to bits.
Cheers, right, love you too, mate. Cheers, mate.
Soon.
Thank you, mate.